Welcome. I'm Excellite and this is my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about a man who within the last 2 weeks went missing without a trace. The police say that the disappearance is bizarre. Before I get started, please, if you would, give this video a thumbs up, and if you'd like to be, please go ahead and subscribe. It's free and it really helps my channel. All right, let's talk about Philip Kreyic. Philip Kreyic disappeared on the morning of July 10th. He had told his wife that he was going to go for a run at Pleasanton Ridge National Park. He called her when he got there, and he was supposed to meet her at a family gathering. 2 hours later, he told her the run was going to take about an hour, and that was the last time he's ever been heard from. So after 3 weeks and a few days, people are asking themselves, did Philip disappear himself? Does he not want to be found? Is it possible that he went off trail and got hurt or incapacitated? The park was very, very busy that day, so why aren't there any witnesses? And is it possible that he met with something much more nefarious? Could somebody have taken him? Kidnapped him for some reason? Did he have an enemy that nobody knew about? Yet again, why are there no witnesses? Philip's family and friends and many volunteers have refused to give up hope, although after over 3 weeks it is dwindling and the worries about his condition are increasing. Philip certainly comes from an incredible, loving, and resilient family who continue to be committed to bringing him home, writes one of the volunteers on a Facebook group that is dedicated to the search efforts. All of the volunteers and members of this Facebook group and beyond have stepped up in so many ways, and his family and friends are incredibly grateful to all. Volunteers and Philip's family met last week on a Wednesday evening for a barbecue, for some downtime, but the official search scaled back 2 weeks ago after there had been no clues, no compelling leads, after a thorough search of Pleasanton Ridge Regional Park, where Philip, of course, went missing on July 10th. Philip had called his wife when he arrived at the park, and they did find his car, and inside his car was a t-shirt and a cell phone. He was running with a smartwatch, but it was not equipped with a GPS. Immediately the thought was that Philip had become incapacitated by the heat, because as you know, there's been record highs this past summer, the temperatures having soared above 100 that day. But as the Chronicle reports, Kreyic, Philip, was a mega marathon runner who had ran through many different conditions and was well experienced in exercising in the heat. On his phone, there was a very well mapped route that Philip was planning to run that day, and it was entirely along a very well manicured, maintained trail where there was plenty of people he would be passing. The park was bustling, but there was no credible spottings of Philip. The area was searched on foot, and then researchers held into a nearby ravine where a t-shirt scrap was found, but it wasn't Philip's clothes, and they also have found carcasses of animals killed by mountain lions, but no human remains. And for 4 nights after Philip disappeared, an airplane flew overhead with a thermal imaging camera that was capable of detecting body heat and came up with absolutely no sign. Investigators say that they haven't abandoned the possibility that Philip is still in the park in an area that they haven't searched, but they say that that possibility is getting less and less likely. When the official search was scaled back, Sergeant Ray Kelly of the Alameda County Sheriff's Office gave a press conference and announced that the other possibility is that he's just not there. Could there be a criminal element involved in Philip's disappearance? Well, Sergeant Aaron Fountain with the Pleasanton Police Department says that there are, quote unquote, no indicators of that. And Fountain says that the whole case is baffling. He's quoted as saying, "I can't even speculate on this one. It's very, very odd." Philip is the father of 2 small children. He's a graduate of Harvard and was listed as a third-year student in MIT's Urban Mobility Lab. Philip's father, Keith, remained hopeful that his son is still alive when he was speaking to news reporters. And he's quoted as saying, "He is an incredibly strong guy, and if there's anybody who can make it out of the woods, he will. And in fact, he may have already made it out of the woods." But nobody has seen him, and he hasn't contacted anybody. And the family says that that is highly unlike him. A friend went running with him the day before he disappeared and said that their conversation was about the fact that Philip was happy at his job, that he had a really important project coming up that he was very excited about. He talked about his 8-month-old child, and they did talk about the fact that him and his family were considering a move. But at the moment, he was very happy. He didn't seem stressed. He didn't seem unlike himself. And he gave no clue that he could soon be disappearing. So, there's also the fact that to plan one's disappearance, to not use any of your identity or bank accounts, takes years of planning. Money being saved, stockpiled, enough to get him somewhere else and to live on. And very few places will take cash for an airplane ride or a train ride. So it's highly unlikely that he just disappeared himself unless someone else was involved. Does that mean that something mysterious happened to him? Well, we don't know yet. But if you have any information about Philip, please contact the police department. If you've seen anything, please let them know. Thank you for coming to my channel. Good night.